Good evening. Welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse. Or, well, I should say welcome to the Joe Brett and Shane Show. That's what that's what this episode should be called because we're the only ones that showed up. Izzo, unfortunately, is taking care of his civic duty.
He's putting up with Mike shit tonight. So
he's like, I'm done. I'm out.
He's still having a rest. Blood pressure's all whacked out.
This is an interesting bug's eye view of Joe Brett. So if you want to know what it looks like when a cockroach curls across Joe Brett's desk and looks at him while he's working radio, you got it right there. Full screen.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So is this the third camera view now? Because you have like the high definition regular video. Then you have the cricket. This is going to be called the cricket cam.
Hang on a minute. Watch this.
Uh-oh. Oh, look who decided to show up. Oh,
I'll screw you.
Good God. What is this?
What is what?
Oh, it's the world view. Oh, we're looking at Joe Brett's video.
360, baby. Which
and it's
doesn't
not
do
stitched.
good as a webcam. I'm half over here and half over there.
Yeah, take that off 360 view. Holy cow.
Oh, wow. Steve got a new mic.
No, same mic. I've had it for a while.
You had a Shure mic.
Yeah, I picked up a Shure a while ago.
Well,
if you would listen to the podcast when you record it.
Yeah, when I'm editing it. If I could actually listen to the content. Instead of just go, yep, that looks like a good place for a commercial, and done.
Oh, Steve's talking, put it in a commercial. Got it.
Yep, exactly. Mute that segment.
Screw you. No, I was just doing some testing with our buddy Mark in 6
Might
MTS.
as well watch a commercial while they wait for him to show up, right? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
F you, Joe. Love you too.
Goodness.
You wouldn't like it.
Spicy show tonight. Goodness.
Hey, Vern, how we doing, brother? So, yeah, just testing some of the OHIS stuff with Mark from Halibut Electronics.
The what?
The Open Headset Interconnect Standard.
Oh.
OS
operating system. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
A freaking operating system?
So he sent me an update to the contesting console, which is the intercom board that I use in the trailer. And I was out with our buddy Chris, who sent us all the bow ties. And the feedback was insane. To the point where we couldn't use the headsets. So we just passed the mic on Saturday.
I'm guessing y'all had a wire crossed.
We're not sure what it was. Because when I brought it home and plugged it into the DX10 that's sitting on my desk right now, since the 7610's in Washington,
it's not in Japan yet? I figured it's going all the way to... it's not making the full trip.
Not making the full
halfway.
Trip. Yeah. But I plugged it in, got the same feedback, and then all of a sudden it stopped working. Or stopped feeding back, and everything worked great. So, yeah, Mark gave me a few blessings earlier, and much of the same that I just gave Joe. So, yeah, I've already been spicy tonight. It's good.
How was San Diego?
Jesus, expensive as all hell.
I mean, that's kind of par for the course, but
it's San Diego. The hotel that I had to book through work was over $1,000 for the week, and then they were valet only. That was another.
And you rented a car.
$60 a day. I had to rent a car. Uber can't get you on base. Uber can't get you on base.
Oh, that's right, because you're doing that whole secret undercover military stuff.
Yep.
You could Uber to the gate and walk your ass.
They walked in.
Oh, hell no. But it looks like
lazy generation.
Yeah, absolutely. The show. Let me see.
Mark's right.
The third Tuesday. Oh, so I'm going to have to get somebody to cover the net for me. Of November, I will be doing the show.
He has to get somebody to cover the net for when he's traveling, but not.
I had them cover the net last week. Screw you. You weren't here.
I was at the F1 race, and I was in Albuquerque.
I know. I saw your pictures. I'm jealous. But I will be doing the show probably from a POTA park in Hawaii.
In Hawaii?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I can tune into a remote station on the West Coast and log a Hawaii station.
You don't have Hawaii yet?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I got Eric.
Oh, okay. Of course you did. He's the only ham in Hawaii that's on HF.
That's on all the time. Yeah, exactly.
There are 6 parks on the island that I'm going to be on that have not been activated yet.
Oh.
So I may
don't tell our guests that, because our guests would do a 90 and beat you there.
I was gonna say I may go do a 4 call as a ATNO in Hawaii.
Right. There he is. Smoke signals RF'd. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know you're in the thick of it with all the fires. So thanks for being there, buddy. Take care. We'll keep your seat warm. I'm going to make sure that someone passes gas in it or something, you know, true Clubhouse style.
How many acres is burning in Connecticut?
Maybe you could put that in the chat. I'm not sure.
I'm saying if it's more than 5 or 6 acres, it's the whole state, right?
Pretty much.
Something like that.
I'm sorry.
That's
I hope it. I mean, it's got bad, but it's good for like natural vegetation regrowth.
That's true. That is very true. We used to do prescribed burns all the time.
But
and Lucas, I see you need Hawaii. Watch the Clubhouse Discord. I will be posting in there as well as a couple other places.
And there's a really application called Ham Alert.
Yep.
That you could get Steve in there, and it'll show when he goes to a POTA part or when he's on the radio. So I just noticed we were racking up some of the green chats, so thank you to our channel members. Appreciate that, guys. Appreciate you being here, and appreciate you supporting us as we venture into this land of YouTubes. Bob says, Shane, do you think it might be possible to have Beer Snack and Molson on an upcoming show before the end of the year? It's quite possible. We'll have to schedule with Beer Snack. He's got one of those crazy regular jobs like the rest of us don't have.
I was going to say that 3-letter word. J-O-B.
J-O-B, right?
Well, last time I heard, I think he had like 3 of those regular jobs. But
yeah, no kidding. Paul, N1OG, the Grouch, 4 months. Walking on base is for losers.
Well, so, Joe, it's actually funny you talk about that, because the last day I was on the ship, I had to park next to the chapel, which was by the gate, and then walk to the ship, which was like a quarter mile away. So it probably would have been cheaper just to Uber over there and walk in from the gate.
Yeah. See,
what kind of hotel you staying at? Like Super 6 or something? Super 8?
He's at the Hyatt. What are you talking about?
It was
not
the
for
Horton,
$1,000 a week.
It was the Horton Grand.
In the basement.
The Horton Grand, next to the Horton Theater.
One of those that tries to be fancy but really ain't.
No, it was fancy as hell, bro. But it old as hell too.
Was it one of them boutique ones?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a bougie boutique hotel.
Well,
no shit.
I'm just saying. Vern mentioned that's not too bad of a price, and I'm thinking I just stayed at a Marriott for a week, $1,600. They tried to charge me $1,900, but I got the best price.
I was gonna say, and that was the company rate too. So
yeah,
it's all a write-off, man. Just keep thinking that it's all a write-off.
Oh no, I put it all on their credit card. I'm not paying any of it.
There you go, even better. Then why do you care how much it costs?
Because we only have
parking. That gets you.
We only have so much in the budget, and if I burn it all up on one trip, I don't get to go to Hawaii.
Oh, all right. Good for you.
I'm thinking about upcoming trips. I need other POTA parks.
He's getting pissed off because the company's budget may not support him to go to Hawaii and play radio.
May not support his POTA expeditions.
Makes a little more sense.
Yeah, right. I'm getting per diem to go play POTA.
Nice. Jeff N4 POD, member for 22 months. Thank you so much for 22 months. Almost. We're going to start seeing some of those shields pop up, I'm afraid. Can't wait to see it.
We should have here pretty quick.
Chris, member for 18 months. Thank you so much. And we got one more in there. Mike says, hello from the UK. Well, hello, Mike.
Howdy.
I'm sure that every time I look at that, at his name, I look at that GORFD, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I was like, oh, shit, he's a Golf Zero. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah.
I knew this guy's last name was Goldsmith, and every time I see it, for some reason, those letters, I'm like, Goldsmith.
It just throws you off.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of covered what Steve was doing, but Steve, if you want to give us something else before we head on up to Joe Brett, what you got?
No, got to play POTA this weekend. Sunday I did some hunting from the truck while I was running errands.
As in four-legged hunting or hunting?
No.
Oh, POTA hunting.
POTA hunting.
Gotcha.
POTA hunting. That 857 and the ATOS works great at 70 mile an hour or below. Because no, I did not break the speed limit ever.
Well, then that's not Mike approved because it wouldn't last going 90 down the Texas freeway.
So the ATOS that's on the truck was the same one that Mike had in one of his videos.
Okay.
Not a similar one, literally the same one. He shipped it to me, and I bought it from the guy he borrowed it from.
So it's speed tested.
It is speed tested.
Ham till it hurts.
Oh.
Is there a YouTube alert that will alert us when or if Shane uploads a video? There is.
It's called YouTube.
It's called YouTube. It will, if you're
Also
subscribed to my
Discord
channel,
announcements.
there's Discord announcements. Links to Discord down below if you're not part of that. I think I don't know, 8 months since I've uploaded a video.
Go to the Rolls channel, click on video, emoji thing, whatever I set that as, and you'll get pinged.
Jeff's asking, do I upload videos? No, haven't uploaded a video in quite a while.
The
And
ping probably won't be because of Shane's video.
I have quite the backlog of things. I just don't have time. Time is my worst enemy right now. So eventually, I promise. Because I still want to do this radio because everyone says it's like the greatest thing ever. And I played around with it today and I do like it. So
Dunn says he catches your videos on Facebook.
all my the good stuff. Yeah.
Was that the Quan Shane?
No, that's the VGC, the VRN76.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I disassembled a Quan Shane and it.
Nice. Does it still work?
I don't know how it works.
So.
Yeah, it works.
And those that are at 22 months are the top right now. So 2 months before we see the shields.
Nice. 45 Auto says, waiting for Shane's video from Coda. Well, 45 Auto, if you go to Discord, into my little This Side of the Radio stuff, I posted some videos. We had I'll get into that in just a second. What is that? Oh, that's what the Quan Sheng looks like without the case.
But what I didn't expect is it doesn't have the typical RF module.
What'd it have?
I mean, I guess
that's why it transmits on all bands.
That's why it does all. Yeah. It is true all band, and then it can be modified to do extra
built right
bands.
in the circuit board, free flowing. I don't know.
BMAD Izzo is unfortunately in the 911 center tonight, so he's doing the work. Mandatory overtime or so he tests.
I don't miss those days.
This was a result of me seeing somebody put together a video of taking apart an HT and rewiring everything and making it a little base station, little mobile base station. And I thought it was so pretty that I was like, I want to do that. And then I got to take it apart.
Would you get an RF burn if you keyed that thing up without the case on it?
No, it's in a case.
No, I was just saying if you were to just put the battery on that thing and key up, would it give you a little electroshock therapy or?
I'll send it to you. Let us know.
Shane's the only one dumb enough to try it.
I was not volunteering as tribute.
No, you got voluntold to do it.
I still have a tingling finger from my TID Radio TDH8.
Wimp.
For some reason, it won't go away. And the end of my finger, I have no feeling in it. So I think it's permanently dead.
Oh, fried the nerve.
Thanks, China. I see some shout outs in there. Don says, is it Izzo? Is it when Izzo is here? I can't talk. I cannot talk tonight. Anyway. Joe Brett, over to you.
Hey, it's me. Just like it was last Tuesday before, and the way it'll be next Tuesday.
And Joe, I'm surprised you're even allowed to be in here tonight after your post on Facebook about, the short people appreciation getting sent off to the North Pole on the 1st.
I got a lot of short people in my life that I admire dearly, and
just wait till December 21st. Wait for my post.
Why they took offense to it? I didn't call nobody by name.
Did you get in trouble? What I missed, Joe?
I don't get in trouble. I just turn it into a laughing experience.
Oh.
It was comical for the rest of us.
Did it
I'm
go
sure.
viral?
No.
Do I need to pull it? Do I need to pull this up and put it on stream?
Jesus.
He's gonna go ahead and pull it up.
Hold on.
This is called content, Joe. Content. We have to do something before our guest tonight. Well, he's working on that.
You gonna make him wait the full 30?
Yes.
Oh,
He's got to get the full experience. So last Saturday we drove down to Circuit of the Americas. My brother is a marshal for Formula One, and he said, "Hey, I don't have anybody using my vouchers for free tickets, so if y'all can come down, let us know." So I gave him my tent and everything, and he threw it in the Marshall campground and picked us up. We drove down, and I parked in because the cheapest parking I could find around the Circuit of the Americas track was about $70 a night. And so what I did was, hopefully I'm not going to give myself away here, but with Southwest, I get a discount at the Perks airport parking centers, and it's like 50% discount. So for $7 a day, I could park at the airport parking in Austin.
And Uber over.
And I don't even have to do that. He picked me up at the front gate. So I went in and parked, and he had all my camping stuff. So I just cut out the front gate, and the lady that was working the booth said, "Is everything okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't actually fly out till tomorrow. My friends are here. We're going to go party in Austin tonight so we can fly out tomorrow. But I'll come back. When I come back in, I'll come in on the shuttle." And so that was fun.
Hey, you couldn't throw your boy a ticket to come down to the F1 race. I see how it is.
You had to get there, and there's more to this story. So what I found out is it's not a ticket, it's a voucher for a ticket. So the gates and the parking lots open at 7:30 in the morning. The first race is at 8:25, but Formula One's not until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So what you have to do is, even though you're on site, you don't have a ticket. So I had to get up at 6:15. Oh. The shuttles don't start running till 7:30. The Circuit of the Americas is 3.4 miles in a circle. So I had to run half that circle to get over to the Ticketmaster booth to exchange my Ticketmaster pass for an actual ticket. And then I had to go the other mile and a half, almost 2 miles back to the campground to get my lawn chair to get in line to get into the racetrack, because it was just general admission. Normally those vouchers are it's the best seat, whatever's left over for the day. So if you're there for practice or the sprints or anything like that, you can get grandstand tickets for those. But it was general admission for Sunday because the race has been sold out for months. Ooh. And pretty much general admission means if there's grass and you can put a chair on it, that's your seat.
Oh, wow.
So that sloped hill where all the grandstands are at, everything between the grandstands is general admission. So I put my chair there, and camping chairs don't like being on a slope. So every time I would lean forward to see what car was coming next, I would almost fly down the hill. So thankfully I didn't have that much beer.
There was video of that.
There was, that's good stuff. But it was fun. And then when the race was over with, we left when there was about 10 laps to go, because it was obvious who the winner was going to be. And so we started hightailing out of there. And then we went and sat from 4 when the race was over. We left the parking lot at 8 o'clock at night, and we still had to sit in line to get out, to go back to the park spot to get my car to go back to Dallas. Yeah. I think there was like almost 300,000 people that showed up for the race.
Wow.
If that's not crazy. So anyway, Joe Brett, did you happen to find what you're looking for?
Me watching my short friend fly away to Santa's workshop on December the 1st.
You're still a month early, though.
It was too good not to share.
My lovely bride has already been watching Christmas movies.
No, it is way too early for that mess.
Bro, we're getting Christmas Town this weekend.
No.
She's starting that crap already. Yeah.
I got Halloween stuff still up. And we got Thanksgiving.
I know.
Then it's Christmas. You can't put up Christmas until after you eat the turkey bird.
The fat boy's got to wait till after the turkey. But she said no. So And if I want a place to sleep, I listen to what she says.
That's very true. Douglas V. No, Verstappen did not win. It was Charles Leclerc from Ferrari. And then there was a for second and third, there was a little rubbing is racing kind of thing that ended up he got bumped down, but I'm not bitter at all. Anyway, should we get to our friend that's been sitting in the green room?
Definitely.
So some of you might know him as James. Some of you might know him as Ham Radio Adventure Guy. We know him as Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November.
Nope.
Did I get it right?
Nope. The call sign is wrong right now.
We're gonna get to that. But his U.S. call, your U.S. call sign is correct. I got it right, didn't I?
If you kind of did. It's actually Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu
November.
I didn't put enough zing in the Zulu.
You gotta throw a zing in there.
Couple of watts. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, James. Good to have you as always. And Izzo kind of said, "Hey, we got this guy, and he should stop by," and didn't give me any cliff notes or anything like that. But I heard, first off, let's rewind. For those of you who are not familiar with James is probably, I don't know, you probably do more POTA than anybody. You want to kind of venture down that rabbit hole?
If you're not familiar with James, you don't do POTA.
It's actually probably somewhere in the bylaws. I haven't read them all, but I happen to know that.
No, I deleted it.
That if you're not in my log, you're not a real hunter, or if you're not parked to park with me, you're not a real activator. I mean, you just don't try. I mean, even Shane's in my log. Come on, y'all.
I think I've been in your log a couple of times, both not from a remote station, from my actual 7300 and a remote station.
So James is currently sitting at, if his uploads are correct, 287,000 QSOs.
What?
Just in POTA.
Well, that would be minus today, but yeah.
I figured. Well, okay, 287,718. But I'm guessing you haven't uploaded today's yet?
Actually, you know what? They went in just a few minutes ago. I don't know if they're actually showing in the system.
Yeah, they're showing.
And
let me go look.
Okay, and I apologize if there's background noise. There's actually a meeting going on behind me that I didn't know was going to be happening.
Turn around and tell them, zip it.
Tell them to hush it. You got a show to do.
You not know who I am?
It should be ending soon.
Okay.
They can't hear us, can they?
I hope not.
James,
they need to recognize it's the Clubhouse. The Clubhouse. So we even cancel nets for the Clubhouse.
James, you couldn't have gotten 3 more at Newell Lowell today? 97? You couldn't go for the full 100?
Jeez. I didn't know we were contact shaming.
I mean, I was having a relaxing day, okay?
97 contacts at one park is a relaxing day.
Yeah, for me, it's 10. I get 10, and then I'm like, I'm going to relax for the rest of the day.
We're not going to mention the 83 at the next park.
All right, so before we jump into what James has been doing, James, why POTA? Where did you hear about it? Why? What drew you into it? Because obviously this is your hobby within a hobby, as we like to say.
I don't think it's a hobby. I think it's an addiction because, I mean, I go to counseling for it and stuff. So
wait, you host that counseling, don't you?
Well, yeah.
With Dan? Okay.
I mean, you got to host your own counseling if you want real answers, right?
That's right.
As long as you're doing something about it.
But so I got my technician license to honor my dad, and had no intentions of doing anything else with it. And one night I got bored at my house, and my dad had passed away, and I said, I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to hook up his old radio and just scroll the dial. I can do that. I don't have to talk. I can listen. And I came across this station, and they kept calling all these other stations, and I was like, well, what's this? This is pretty interesting. They're not talking about colonoscopies or their wife's macaroni salad or nothing. They're doing something cool here. So I listened, and I kept hearing them say Parks on the Air. I was like, this dude's in a park. So I go to YouTube, of course, and who do I see but Mr. Don Izzo? I blame him now. I blame him doing a Parks on the Air activation, and I must have watched that video like 50 times. You know, you're welcome for all the views on that one video, Don. That are all me. But I was like, you know, I got to get my general. I got to do this now. You know, so a couple months later, I have my general. That very night, I'm hunting as Stroke Alpha Golf.
You didn't waste no time at all then.
No.
I was on it, and I did that for, you know, maybe a couple of weeks when I decided I want to be in the park, but I'm talking on my dad's boat anchor right now, and I got to get another radio. So I start saving up, and I get me a 991A and a Wolf River coil, and I went out to a little park called Chief Logan State Park, US 1810, and we'll get into 1810. I know, because Steve's gonna start some stuff. I know he will.
No, Steve.
Oh, absolutely.
But I do this 1810, and I'm like, this is where it's at. I got to do this. I got to do this all the time. And now I'm working on close to. I know November makes 3 years since it's been a day when I was not in a park.
Oh, wow. Every day.
Every day.
Every
Snow,
day.
I have walked out in 14 inches of snow. I have been out 3 different times when I had COVID. There was one point where I had a heart incident where I was at the hospital, and I know it's getting loud. I apologize.
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
But
You're good.
We're tuning them out.
I had
We're
a hard
waiting for you to
incident.
tell the doc time out.
And
I got to go activate a part.
I did. So, you know, they told
Sew me back up,
he
Doc.
said, no, you're not having a heart attack, but we'd like to keep you overnight for observation. I said,
Oh, hell no.
absolutely not.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I said, sir, we got to keep you. And, you know, people laugh about this, but I said, no, I got to activate. And he said, I don't even know what that means. And I told him what I had to do. He said, you're the craziest person I've ever met. You're going to kill yourself. I said, but I'm dying a park happy.
Yeah, I'll be having fun while I'm doing it.
I'll have a smile on my face. Thank you very much.
I'll be back in the morning, I promise.
Right. I
Don't
need a day
keep it.
pass.
Oh,
You know,
James, you're gonna hate me.
Hit the wrong
here we
button.
go.
He deleted something.
Nope. It's one of the things I'm gonna give him crap about tonight.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh Lord, yeah. I don't listen. So I was on a stream with Steve about a week and a half ago,
Sorry about that.
and
I apologize.
he happened to look at how many unique parks I'd activated, and if he remembers that number and he looks at them tonight, he's going to say, "Okay, James, you got a problem." So,
oh no, I said that 2 years ago when you had been in a park every day for a year, because I told Bill the same thing. You have an addiction and you need help. Go buy another radio.
So the doctor said you can't go or you shouldn't go, and you were like, "I'm going to make this wheelchair into an antenna. You watch."
no, I went, I left, and I'm still here. I'm still here.
Yep.
You know, it's all good.
Now. So
I typically try to keep a life flight helicopter person on call. That way, if I do get, you know, hospitalized, they can come pick me up every day and circle the park.
Take
and
you
let
to
me
the
get my
park.
injection.
I was gonna say, you just gotta make sure he's got his tech license and he's listening on 5.2. You're good.
Right.
And you don't even have to be in the park. You can circle above the park. You're in the
So
park's airspace.
You
Right.
can
Just
hover,
put him in
sir.
the basket and wheel him down until he's inside the tree line. Just hover, make your 10, and head back to the
Well,
hospital.
And you make the antenna out of the line that you
The
lower you
long
down
line
with.
to the helicopter. We got you, man.
Hell of a vertical.
See, we got it. We got it.
All right. So Brent says West Virginia parks have deeded Chief Logan to James. And the reason for that is this man has 37,307 contacts from Chief Logan. I'm sure he's got the gate code to get in when they're closed.
Do you know the Rangers by first name?
They know him.
I don't know them all by first name, but they all know me. Matter of fact, funny story, they actually got a new head guy about 8 months ago, and he come in and he was just hardcore. We're enforcing this and we're enforcing that, and nobody's going to be in this park after 10:30. And they looked at him and said, "Listen, there's going to be a guy in a white Nissan, and when he comes in at night, he's going to be sitting on the top of the hill, out of the way. Don't even stop the truck. He ain't bothering nobody. He'll have a big antenna in there. He's just doing his thing. Leave him alone." And he left me alone every time. So they're pretty good people there. They'll stop and talk to me if they're getting trashed or something like that. But most part, they just leave me alone.
You know, I pulled up my my stats, and I only have 30 activations and 1,000 contacts. So just the number of your contacts in POTA is just blows the mind. And I've got Canada, England, Hawaii, the Juan Fernandez Islands, Puerto Rico, and I got 497 QSOs with 369 parks. So that is nothing. Now I feel contact shamed.
Look, since I've had my license in 2003, and whenever I started doing Logbook of the World, I've only got 15,323 contacts.
I didn't think about looking at my.
That's a
my
good
Do you even
notebook.
play radio, bro?
Apparently
No,
not. Apparently not.
In Joe's defense, every time he lights up his voice on the radio, some woman comes on there and talks to him for about 6 hours, meowing like a cat or something.
Get me in the conversation.
So
move this over to 80 meters.
So why POTA, James? Is it the parks, the challenge? Is it being out where you can tell everybody to leave you alone? Why should people who aren't familiar or why should they give POTA an opportunity? What's the big draw to it? I mean, I know my reasons, and I'll share those in a minute. But what was POTA?
I mean, number one, I'm an outdoor person, so I love to be outdoors anyway. POTA will take you to places and see things that you have never seen before. Just this past week, I may have seen the prettiest sunset that I've ever seen in a place that I would have never, ever been. I'm in another country that I probably wouldn't have been in. And I sat on a rock and watched the sunset because of Parks on the Air. I mean, it's just an amazing thing. And as far as relaxation, so I recently got into CW, and I can go and do an early morning activation doing CW beside a lake or a river, as long as there's water and CW. And everything that was ever bothering me goes away for at least, an hour after I'm gone. It's just a relaxing thing. I mean, and the POTA community, they'll do anything for you.
Minus the POTA Facebook group.
I was coming back from... Yeah, that's a cesspool. That is just a cesspool.
Insert disclaimer here.
The only reason I'm still in that Facebook group is because every now and then, Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November will read something, and he'll comment on it, and that makes it worth being in there.
Oh yeah.
Because Dan likes to tell people how dumb they really are sometimes. And, it makes it worth
that's
being
a glorious
in there
thing.
and reading just the absolute junk that you hear. So it's just horrible. But POTA people, for example, I'll give you a good example of something that, some family wouldn't do. I was on a train ride, and I had a layover. I was coming back from Florida, and I had a layover in Washington, D.C., and then I took a train from D.C. to Charleston, West Virginia. So about 20 minutes out from D.C., I get a notification on my phone that my train has been canceled. So I get to D.C., and I'm like, what's going on? They're like, well, there was a train derailed, and blah, 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 blah. They're like, we can send you back to Florida for free. I'm like, I don't want to go back to Florida.
I don't want to go
I
to
want to go
Florida.
home.
It's hot down there.
Right?
And they're like, well, the next train it's Wednesday. The next train don't happen until Friday. I'm like, well, put me on it. Well, we're not putting you in the room. I said, I didn't ask you to put me on the train.
I just put me on the train. Yeah.
So immediately that gets solved. I don't think about a room. I don't think about nothing. I think I've got a POTA today. So I messaged Carrie.
I got to camp under a tree, but by God, I got to get this POTA done because I can't miss a day.
Well, he's going to be in D.C. He could sleep in one of the national parks, and it'd be no different than anybody else sleeping there.
That's true.
So I text her, and I'm like, hey, I'm stuck in D.C., and I need to POTA. What time do you get off? And she's like, what do you mean you're stuck? And I told her the story. She said, oh, no. She said, I'm leaving work now. I'll come get you. We'll activate. Then we'll go get Ray, and we'll drive you home, and we'll POTA on the way.
All right for that.
There you go.
Wow. All right for that.
So, no, I feel bad about this because we get headed back, and we're POTAing back, and we get into the first park into West Virginia, and we pull in, and their vehicle breaks down.
Oh
no.
Now, luckily, their AAA would tow them at 300 miles, and they were 277 away from the house. But the funny thing
so
is,
you're saying there's a chance.
I'm still like 3.5 hours from home. She's away from home, broke down. We're not even thinking about it. We just start POTAing right there on the spot, and we let Ray worry about a tow truck. And when KE8 Golf Quebec hunts me, I'm like, hey, man, you think you can come up to Morgantown and pick me up? And another POTA guy drove up there and picked me up and took me home. So, they're just great people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So the Ham Radio Adventure guy, there's got to be, you've got a YouTube channel, and I put a link to the YouTube channel in the chat, and I've also added it to the description of the YouTube video. So if you're watching this on Team Replay, make sure you go into the links, go find James, subscribe. So what brought you to YouTube?
Believe it or not, Jason 2.0.
Okay.
He was talking to me and stuff like that, and he asked me something about doing YouTube or something. I was like, wow, there's 1 million YouTubers, and it's already saturated. Why would I do it? I don't know enough about this. He said, because everybody has a different point of view, and your point of view might just be the one that sticks with somebody.
Very true.
I was like, okay, I tried it out, but believe it or not, you guys was a big part of the start of this channel too, because I used to come in here and hang out a lot, and I had my YouTube channel, but I wasn't getting the subscribers I wanted. So there was this guy, his name was Mike. He had a call sign KE8MRD, and I used to he called himself Papa POTA. And I used to like to come on here and just talk trash to him, not because I disliked him, not because I didn't think he was good at what he done, because I know I'm better. I'm the best. I'm the king. I wasn't yet the king though, but it really was about getting some of Mike's people to say, hey, well, let's go watch this guy's show and see what he's doing with POTA, So then I do videos for a while, and Shane and Mike start talking about having this POTA off, and I was like,
the POTA challenge.
I'm going to do my first live stream, and I'm going to see if these guys will come on and talk about it. And they come on and talk about it, and then I'm like, so I got the winner, right? And Mike's like, well, saying this stuff, and I was like, well, I technically challenged you first. He's like, you've never challenged me. And Shane's like, he's challenged you 12 times on our stream.
That was a lot of fun, and I still deserve a rematch.
You don't have to own a radio there, Shane.
I don't. I just go to Montesano and use somebody else's radio.
Wait, that means you actually show up to Huntsville for once,
Maybe one of these days.
Not gonna happen.
Why are you gonna call me out like that, Steve?
Because I can.
I've been to an awful lot of big fan fests, and I've only seen you one time, Shane. I'm just gonna say.
I've been to the big ones. I haven't been to Orlando. No.
Yeah.
I've been to Dayton and I've been to Huntsville. That's the big ones to me.
Okay, I must have missed you in Huntsville, but I did see you in Dayton.
I was there.
He was in Huntsville one time.
It's probably the year that I broke down and couldn't come or something.
Probably.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Probably.
So Shane, Mike says anytime, any place.
Absolutely. Well, there's Mike, we need to hook up on that because there is a twofer in Texas and we should exploit that. Because there's not very many twofers in Texas.
Any date that you propose, there's a balloon event.
Shane's going to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
Love you too.
And he says you can even use his radio. The problem is you've got to go on first because if he warms up the band for you, it's not fair.
He went first last time.
I know he did. I was there for that.
I was there. I only missed it by a matter of seconds. So
it was close.
And that was only because I was being nice. I was being nice as an operator, but that's okay.
I think that was the same year that Mike had 9 contacts one of the nights at the cabin, and the band just shut off.
Turned off, yeah.
So we were throwing a handheld around.
That's what happened to Yellowstone.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, there's so many people there. If you look,
activate without ever leaving the park.
If you go to my my Yellowstone activation, Steve, you'll see there's some interesting things because there was a campfire there, and Chuck and T.O. and 2.0 and everybody was sitting around a campfire, and basically we just hand the HT around, and you do a 2 meter and you do 70 centimeter, and we're good. Good times.
You can do that. At Dayton last year, as soon as we hit the gate at Caesars Creek, I picked up my 2 meter and said CQ Park's on the air. By the time I got to my campsite where I was going to activate at, I already had 28 contacts.
Just on 2 meters.
Just on 2 meters.
Nice.
And they were all parked apart from Caesars Creek.
Of course.
I was going to say, so a 2 meter and 70 centimeter activation chain does not count when there's
what do you mean it doesn't count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contacts, 2 bands each. But only one of them logged you park to park, mind you.
That's the system errors. What that is, it didn't recognize that we were all sitting next to each other in the same park.
No, the others didn't log it. That's
of course,
the error was. I'm not going to call out who it was. But
That's 10 contacts. It's on 2 separate bands, five contacts per band. That's legal.
And you had 11 contacts on that activation. You had 1 contact on 20 meters.
Exactly. I was QRP and I was on N8YO's radio. I called CQ for 40 minutes.
To get 1 contact.
1 contact. And I was on his 705 and I was like, you know what? F this. I'm going back to the campfire and drinking. That was 40 minutes I'm not going to get back. I don't know if it was... I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a solar storm because N8YO was banging that CW back and forth like crazy. And I'm sitting there going, I can't talk to a single person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm in Yellowstone.
I think you're just doing radio wrong or something.
I will not, I won't refute that at all. Could possibly be.
Shane, you need 2 more parks, by the way. Hunted.
Oh, that's easy.
Unique parks.
James, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be tomorrow? I'll spin the beam from South Carolina and point it towards you.
76 tunes not hooked up. So
you best hook it up. Well, I have 2 other. There's 2 radios that are up further north that I can talk to if I need to.
I mean, technically, you're not in my current log, Shane.
Why not?
Because his call sign is not.
Oh,
my
that's
call
right.
sign
Okay,
is
so
not currently.
So let's jump into that. So James is doing something very, very unique, and it's not like me where I did the cheetah or the rhino where you go and do 10 parks and stuff like that. James decided to leave the country. So James decided it was time to activate Canada because you'd had enough United States. So where did this come about? And I mean, I know that's it. Got to be an adventure up there, but we're Canada.
Well, I mean, it's total world POTA domination is what the end goal is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, ain't that how we play POTA? No,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I've got a lot of really good friends up here that I have met through POTA. Wouldn't know a single person up here if it wasn't for POTA. And another person who really, really loves to rove, reached out to me, Victor Echo 3 Juliet Lima November. Everybody knows him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you need to come to Canada and rove with us and this, that, and the other. And he's like, if you come up, we'll beat your rove record. And
challenge accepted.
My current record is 42 parks in a 24-hour period.
All right. Can we put pause on that for 1 second? How in the hell do you get 42 parks in a 24-hour period?
Easy.
How does that happen? Because you got to drive. Now I'm in Texas, and when I have to go to a park, they're an hour apart. Sometimes
so you have to go to a different state, Shane. You got to come over South Carolina.
So first off, I didn't even do a single park in my home state. Not a single one.
So 42 parks.
Mm-hmm.
42 unique parks.
Unique parks. Okay.
Yeah, so 42 different parks that from 8 p.m. to 7:59. I could have did more, but I underdid myself because the last two parks I actually just took my time at.
How are they open that late?
So
wildlife management areas, just pull off the side of the road.
That's true.
Anytime you do a rove, you got to do your research. You got to find out stuff like that right there. But wildlife management areas, there's a lot of different parks. There's not a park in West Virginia that I think I would have to worry about a time limit. Even our state parks, they might say closed at 10 o'clock, but the gates are wide open. Other than the resort park, where they have a gate that's always closed because you got to pay to go in that one park. But
it's all South Carolina parks.
Yeah, I don't understand that. They get tax money from your taxes, but yet you still have to pay money to go in there.
So I know here where I'm at, I can go to the library and check out a park pass, and that gets me into the parks.
What?
Yep.
Ain't this a life hack?
I may have done that a time or two, and Shane left us. Go figure. Probably had to go make water.
Nice to know. One of my South Carolina supporters, I'm going to need your library card as I'm going to Florida next year.
Let me know.
That's really crazy. I would have never thought that.
Mm-hmm. Let me know when you're coming through. I'll meet you at the park. Well,
that sounds good. I like to do the parks for sure, but I don't know if I'm finishing answering his question or not since he's gone here. So I'm going to let you guys have a question.
I'm scrolling through your awards here, and it's just blowing my mind. 1,027 awards. And your park to park, I don't know if that's the current number or not, but your park to park QSOs are 18,000.
I don't know. I don't keep up with that. I can't keep up with that. It's hard enough for me to keep up with the people I got to send challenge coins to. So I give challenge coins to anybody who's contacted me 1,000 times, and then I give another one at 5,000. And you'd be surprised how many 1,000 coins I give out.
Oh,
it's just.
I went to the website. I know. But yeah, so I guess you didn't look when you were activating today for 5 more parks. that were on the spot page?
Well, no, not really.
He was pacing himself.
He's 5 away from the next Park to Park award.
Oh, he get that tomorrow.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here's where I'm gonna sound like the bad guy. I don't really, unless I turn on the radio and there's a park on the frequency on my frequency. I don't know what I've had that POTA frequency for 42 years now and done my POTA net there, but unless there's a park to park there, I don't really go looking for them. And I hate to say this because people are going to say, "Oh, you're conceited," but I know they're going to come work me anyway.
Yep. They're going to find you.
So why waste my time? Let's make some contacts.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get set up in the park, before you start your activation, do you spin the dial and kind of see if you can hear a POTA station and make a quick contact before you start calling CQ?
I will if it's the middle of the day and the band seems like they're bad, I'll scroll through and just see if I hear somebody. If I hear one station that has a decent signal, I'm a go.
Like, I'm out, I'm gone. CQ.
I'm not. I don't look at solar data. I don't flares. Well, bring them on. I don't care.
Mike had to run in with those. Turn the bands off.
It happens, but I have enough. It's hard enough for me to get on a frequency and say, "Is this frequency in use?" without already having a pileup.
Mm-hmm.
I've literally put 5 calls in my log by saying, "Is this frequency in use?" I'm like, how do you guys even know I'm here? I haven't spotted.
They're stalking you. That's
do.
like Callum. Callum's the same way because he checks as the frequency in use, and there's like 8 people watching, 8 people on there already.
Mm-hmm. Which I do use some frequencies that there's certain frequencies I like to use a lot. So people
7.200
frequent them.
That may have happened to Cyber too.
Yep. I've been known to do that one.
That's the best one. I wouldn't mess with the maritime net, but anyway.
Back to your original question. So you asked me why Canada. And James and Brian and Tom wanted me to come up here and stuff like that. And this is the land of the POTA moose. Like, they have a moose up here that walks around, and every time it poops, it becomes a park. There's parks everywhere. Yeah, there's parks everywhere. I actually, they think I'm kidding, but I done secured an emotional support animal tag for this moose. It's going back in the plane with me one way or another.
Whether it wants to or not.
Yeah,
hope you got a big tranquilizer.
Mm-hmm.
But no, at the house, I got to drive at least 4 hours to get a unique park. So I said, I know what I want my goal to be next year. And I got to get a lot further this year to do it. So I'm going to go to Canada and I'm going to get 100 new unique parks. That was my goal.
So the Rove is 100 parks, but 50 of them in a day.
That was just, there is a 50 park Rove coming up.
Okay.
But
we hadn't got there yet. Sorry. I had to go refill my drink.
Of goals. I had a couple of goals when I got up here. One, I wanted 100 unique parks to me, new unique parks. 2, I wanted a Canadian Atno. 3, I wanted to own a Canadian park for at least a day. Of course, they're going to take back over it. And then 4, I want at least 1 Canadian kilo. I've got everything done besides the kilo.
That's ambition right there.
I've done got the 100 parks. I've done got the Atno. I've done got the own for a day. So
are you in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario? What part of Canada?
I'm in Ontario.
Okay.
And but for the big Rove, you gave it away there. Yes, we're doing a 50 park Rove, beats my record by 8, but we're doing it with 4 activators.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
So
make sure you pass the mic.
It's very, very, you know, you want to talk about that? We can talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I can tell you exactly what the rule says.
I know.
When this was brought up before, the rule says if you are doing a multi-operator activation, you may pass the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Not you must pass the mic. So.
Well, that just means you don't have to give the other people a chance. You can just hog it yourself.
Well, all call signs must be given over the air.
Right.
When it's 15 people.
It doesn't say one person can't. It doesn't say one person can't do it.
That's right.
So the one person can give all 5 call signs.
That's right.
Ah.
Some talented people can even do it in their voice.
POTA loop.
Shane gonna be texting people, and you gotta be there, Shane. Hey man.
No. They all have to be there.
Sure.
They all have to be there, Shane. Yeah. And
ain't no remote POTA operator.
On all park to parks, they should all pass the mic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I'm looking at the POTA map and I can't get Ontario to load correctly. So apparently all 115 people that were watching are all in Ontario looking at parks right now.
Oh yeah. I want to show this.
Let me tell you.
One of my favorite things for people to do, and wish I was a CW operator, but how James and others can do this. But James, how long have you been doing CW? When did you start learning?
My first CW activation, which you could say I knew nothing about CW. It was just I set a goal that I was going to do it that year, and Kyle sort of kept reminding me and pushing me. Was December the 31st of 2022, and
good God, dude.
It was horrible. It was basically, I did it in my people in my Discord. So there was like 15 people in this one room where I spotted. I knew the 15 people in that room. I didn't know what order they were calling in or anything, but I practiced hearing those calls, and it was pretty much just let me get through this goal so Kyle will get off my back.
He's like that.
But the problem was, I was like, that was extra contacts. So here we go. The next day I start doing CW again and again and again. And now, honestly, if I didn't have such a following on Sideband, I'd probably only do CW.
And now he can do this. Can you hear it?
3 Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, QRZ. Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November 5959.
That would be Dan.
Roger, Dan.
So during a sideband, someone hits you up with CW, and you just decode CW and answer him in sideband.
It happens to me. It happens to me quite a bit because
that's fun.
My pileups are a little hard to break through, and there's several people who has figured out if I send CW, he hears it faster.
So speaking of hearing things faster, because I've busted your pile up a couple of times, and it's almost like a song and dance. Like there's a cadence that you follow. So are you writing down multiple call signs when you say Q or Z? Are you writing down these or what kind of how do you work a pile up?
Pencil to the part.
Okay,
he learned to do that CW from sideband in 2 years.
So, a lot of people know that I had brain cancer, when I was about 40, and they removed, pieces of my brain and part of my skull and all that good stuff. But what people don't know is they embedded the ARRL database in my head.
Get out of here.
No,
They uploaded it. You just plug into the matrix.
Clinical trial. We're gonna try this database here.
I can't explain it. You know how they say if you lose a sense, your other senses are heightened and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did have my brain surgery, I did lose hearing in my right ear, and
Like
my
completely?
left ear, yes, completely. Well, other than extremely high, like dog whistles and stuff like that, I can hear in that ear that I shouldn't be able to.
My
hear.
right ear rings 24/7 because I had a run in with a 357 Magnum, too close for comfort. But yeah, so.
But the left ear is really, really good for tones and stuff like that now because of that, which enables me to pick up a lot of things that I normally wouldn't hear. So, you know, when I started doing pileups and stuff, and these people started returning, they become a tone in my head, and I don't have a great memory. I really don't. But if you hit me with 20 call signs and they're tones that I know, I'm going to remember at least 12 of those 20.
Nice.
And I don't write them down or nothing. As long as they let me run my rhythm, you know, Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November, you're 5-9, Kilo 8 Golf Quebec, you're 5. But when you get that one guy that comes in there and says, "What park are you in? Are you running an in-fed or a vertical?" Then all those other call signs are gone.
I'm sitting here running 100 watts, and I've been a ham since. But it's good to hear you.
Or they don't wait for you to finish your cadence, and they come in, you know, Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Charlie, you know, right in the middle of you responding to somebody else.
Yeah, and then there's a couple of them that's really classic.
Somebody's done that before him.
Yeah, it's weird. This comes back to my obsession. So, you know, normal people drive down the road and they're thinking about, you know, I got to do this today. I got to do this today. I'm driving down the road and I hear a call sign in my head, and when I hear that call sign, I'll say the name and the state that person is from. And as soon as I say the state, I hear another call sign. And 45 minutes later, I'm still hearing this stuff in my head and still reciting stuff. So,
you know, it kind of makes sense.
I hear a call sign in my head. I'm like, that son of a gun. He was such a jackass on the.
So that makes sense a
Wrong
little
list.
bit, James, because I've noticed every time you do happen to hear me in your pileups of crazy chaos, James slows down a little bit and acknowledges me. And it's because he's having to think of Mississippi. I'm sorry, man.
It's drawn out YVY.
It's just like, I'm sitting there thinking, man, I wish I had that voice. I'd be going out to the bar tonight and bringing home all the women.
The soul of northern Mississippi.
Listen. I've met Joe's wife, and she sat and cooked for like 100 and some of his friends.
That's a lot of
I'm sitting there
hamburgers.
thinking it's the voice. This voice is like hypnotizing or something.
Hey, honey, you want to cook some burgers?
Yes.
I mean,
you want some fries with that?
I even know she's nice enough to come and help Joe to the house sometimes when he needs a little extra help.
By the neck, if it takes it, yeah.
We have video evidence of that if you're a channel member.
Yeah, I know we do.
That episode has been relegated to those who wish to pay to see it. Unfortunately.
Yep.
Top tier, top shelf, baby. Top shelf.
Funny, my episode did not get relegated to the paid only section.
I wonder why.
Well, it
yeah,
got
it's,
to a paid section, but it ain't Clubhouse. It's one of those other web pages.
It's only hams.
Uh-huh.
only hams in the shack because we're drunk. We can't find our way to the door. That's it.
I'll mention another thing. Hang on, Shane. I'll mention another thing I've noticed about James over the years of his growing and maturing in POTA, royalty, whatever. When I was leading up to my activator, operator to operator, that's what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
James always like, well, you got 50 contacts with me, now I don't hear you no more. Well, I try a lot more than James hears me if I happen to be out in the shack. But those first 50 operator to operator contacts was pretty easy to get into. But now as his fan base has grown and people's somehow begin to like him, I have to turn the amp on now to get to him most of the time. I got to
turn the heater on.
I got to jump above the crowd a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You could do CW like the other guys, Joe.
I could.
See, the 7300, you can send your call sign in CW as a keyer. You ain't even got to memorize it.
He says it back in sideband,
and he says it back in sideband, you can answer him in sideband.
Cut the show.
There you go.
You know that's actually funny because since I've been up here, I actually got a 2-meter CW where I was calling CQ POTA on 2-meter, and they came through in CW, and then when I answered them, they finished the QSO talking. So that was pretty cool for me because I hadn't never done that.
So Ham Radio Duo, Mike and Becky, they're in your log, so they're real, legit. But they come over. They was at the campsite right behind us, and they're coming over to visit. And Mike keeps staring at my 7300 off, strange. And Becky just kind of grins, trying to get him to quit staring, right? And she's trying to sway him away from it. I'm like, oh man, go get your key and we'll hook it up and try it out. And then I remembered the 1/4-inch plug on the back of 7300, and I was like, you got an adapter, and we couldn't find an adapter. So I was like, hey, I just remembered. You don't need a key for the 7300. You can use the up and down because they like using a straight key anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out. Man, I knew Mike was finna get that 7300 no matter time because my concern was I wasn't sure if it was going to be Mike's radio because Becky was about having more fun. I think she used it a little bit more than Mike did that day.
I do have to say, James, that we have a QSO back from April 17th of 2021 that was not confirmed by QRZ. So I'm going to have to see your logs, sir.
Well, you know, there's an email that gets really ignored because people will hunt me and, they'll be out getting groceries or they'll be out doing this. And they'll email me and say, hey, I got a confirmation request on QRZ from you. Can you give me? No, I sure can't. Look on POTA. I get about 400 emails a day wanting confirmation requests. All my logs are put into POTA. If you messed it up, I'm sorry. It's not really that important. You got the POTA contact, I promise.
I'm not chasing paper, I promise.
I had a guy email me one time in November talking about we worked in February, and I'm like, sorry,
gave you plenty of time to confirm.
Yeah, he did.
Tell him to listen tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost 8:30 Central, so I mean I don't know what your schedule is right now, but you're usually getting ready to hop back on 8:30, 9 o'clock Central, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, you going to be activating on the late shift tonight?
No, I won't be out tonight. I cleared tonight to do this, and that way I can actually finish my video for Thursday and have it ready because I will be out Thursday.
Deserve a little break.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, it's no problem. I used to be a loyal watcher, and I've kind of got
now he's out in the park.
Really wrapped up with the POTA, more than ever. Even though this year's been a light year, I've only been averaging about 3 parks a day this year, so I've been taking it easy because I've had a few other girls, but
only 3 parks a day. Parks a day. Only 3 parks a day.
Well, that was the average. That was the average before. That was the average before I came here, though.
Mm-hmm.
I've got more unique parks this month than I've got all year. So
I believe it.
So the rest of this week, or how long are you going to be up in Canada?
I will be flying out on Halloween. I'm gonna put on my airplane passenger costume and fly out on Halloween. So
okay. 9 more days.
9 more days
to catch you in a POTA park. So what call sign should be in my ham alert so that I can make sure that I catch you?
Yeah, you should definitely would want to catch me in those 9 days because it will be rare for you to get Victor Alpha 3 Papa Zulu November if you don't catch me in the next 9 days.
James, let me tell you, when I seen that on the POTA spot, I was like, somebody done fat thumbed his call.
Right.
And then I was like, wait a minute, that scoundrel done got him a
sun gun.
He's done joined the international ranks of POTA.
So did you take a test in Canada when you first got there to get the Victor Alpha 3?
A couple of days after I got here.
Because I know you actually have to be physically in Canada to take that test.
I stroked it for a couple of days. I did the stroke VE3.
Nice.
I bet that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I got
legit Victor Alpha 3
stroking up here. So yes.
So you want to make sure. You want to make sure you get James in your logbook for Victor Alpha 3 Papa Zulu November. That's going to be a rare logbook entry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what's really funny is, because that's currently set to my default call in POTA right now. So people are in West Virginia like, who's this Canadian that took over 1810?
Who's this guy trying to be like James in Canada? Mm-hmm.
Eh? This Canadian guy's got 37,000 contacts at Chief Logan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm adding you to my ham alert right now. So so are you going to be what's your plan as far as, are you going to be on your normal bands, your normal freak? Normally I see you on 40, sometimes 20. So are you going to be on those on the same kind of like band plan?
Mostly I'm on 40 and 20 up here too. I've done some other bands at a couple of the parks. We camped out a little bit and we 10 band it and stuff, but mostly 40 and 20. 20 works a whole lot better here than it does in West Virginia, let me tell you.
Nice. Good.
So I just wanted to bring this up. Joseph V3GKT. Y'all remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. I just wanted to know he's still real.
He's
still around.
He used to be that 60-meter POTA guy.
Mm-hmm.
I always talked about 60 meters, and he came on my stream one night, and he asked me how many 60 meters contacts I had, and I was like, honestly, none. He's like, are you for real?
Ooh.
I was like, yeah. So the next day I went out and got 60 meters, and Joseph, don't look at my 60-meter contacts. Now they're probably too many for you to count.
I've got you a few times on 60.
Yeah, I love some 60 meters now. So, plus it's an added bonus that the one guy comes on there and says, it's on the POTA webpage. You can do POTA on any band besides 60 meters. I was like, what's the URL?
Yeah, tell me what side is it?
Me and him had some good conversations, but yeah. So
some might call them good conversations.
Yep.
So Terry, K8 Golf Quebec says, I've worked James over 6,000 times. Holy cow.
Terry is actually my leader. He's over 6,000 with me.
6179.
Steve actually asked me on Tank Radio. He said, "Do you know who's hunted you the most?" I was like, KE8 Golf Quebec.
Yep.
Yeah.
6,100
after
times.
6,000
And
times, you
as a-
probably
and
hear
a-
that call sign in your
And
sleep.
as a reward, the king has allowed him to actually be the one who mails out the challenge coins now. So he got privilege for being that leader.
Yep.
But I actually, if I can, I'd like to share something here.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get it. Because
you should have
being in-
sharing abilities down there.
being in let's see here. Is it going to let me do it? Let me move this over here to the big screen and it'll let me, I bet you. There we go. Then share screen.
I'm surprised Dan's not over 5,000 with you. And Toby. Those two for sure.
For some reason, it's not going to let me do it.
Boo.
Okay, but we can do this. If one of you wants to put in pzn.rfingaround.com and bring it up for me.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
So you can actually go onto this page right here, and it will tell you all the parks that I've done here since I've been in Canada. You can go to the Canadian Chaser Challenge, and you can see the percentage of parks that you've hunted me in, unique parks that you've hunted me in since I've been to Canada. And it has rove plans and stuff like that, including our 50 park rove, which will be this weekend.
And you do know this weekend is CQ Worldwide.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm not worried about that because this is how I do roves. I have support, and this is why I love the POTA community, because they will take care of me really quick. I have people that will hold frequencies for me in between the parks. And this is the same way I did the 42 park rove. People held frequencies. When I was about 5 minutes out, I would say I'm 5 minutes out. They would tell me what frequency to go to. I would pull in. I would say QRZ. I would bust out 12 contacts. I'd say QRT. Out of 42 parks, all but the last two, which I said I had extra time at, I did in 1 minute and 7 seconds or less. So
I believe it.
Look who number 10 is down here. 97% on the Canada Chaser Challenge.
Only one person's at 100% of the parks.
That would be W8ERR.
Yes, she has worked really, really hard. She doesn't hunt on Sundays, but lucky for her, the parks that I've done so far on Sundays have been repeat parks. So it's just unique parks. You got to get me at the goal was 73%. We'll get you the coin, but she's tried hard to stay at 100%, and she's doing really good. But
so is this
that
list
rove's gonna be the?
So this list is showing through October 21st. Is this list going to update with? Is this just the ones you've already worked, or what's coming up?
The first list you're seeing is through. It ain't been updated for today's vlog. That's what I've already activated since I've been here.
Yeah.
You have to actually click on the Canadian Chaser Challenge, or you can click on the rove plans and pick what day you want. So this weekend would be the 28th. You could 26th. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the 26th, and it'll tell you the parks we're going to on that 50 park rove. And we're actually
that is ambitious.
Mine only shows 45 of the 50, by the way.
Yeah, mine shows 45.
You gotta click
also.
on the next day. It's a weekend.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Let's
It's
see
50
here.
in a day. It's a UTC day.
Yeah, it is 50 in a day.
Well, somebody's got to recode
Yes.
it.
We're missing 5.
You know, mine is only showing 45 too. I know, you know what? He's got this labeled in stops. It's 45 stops, 50
Oh,
parks.
so there's some twofers in
there. There's some twofers in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. He has them listed in stops. But we're also doing, because this won't be spotted on POTA, guys, because you know what's going to happen if it's spotted on POTA.
Pile Up City.
We're going to get slammed.
You're going
It
to
may
have
not
to
be
take that
spotted
people.
after the first couple of contacts, but
It's going to be done in my Discord. Now, here's the thing. People's going to say that's not fair. No, it is fair, because anybody can join my Discord for absolutely free.
Right.
So if you do POTA and you're not in my Discord, you're already doing yourself a dishonor, because it's like that. No, I'm not playing. Like, there's tons of rows that are spotted in my Discord only from all kinds of activators that does not go to POTA.
So is there a link to your Discord in your YouTube channel?
In the chat right now.
All right. There we go.
I already got you there.
Apparently Steve is there.
Yes, I am in that Discord as well.
Yes. So and we actually we're working on a page that we're going to put the link in my Discord, and if it works out right, it's going to have a running clock, and it's going to tell you time to next park and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's cool.
Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November and RFing around is working really hard on that. So, you know, that way you'll know, okay, they're going to be at this park and I want to try to get it. Because here's the thing, you better be on that frequency when we hit it, because we have it. He says we got a little extra time. He says it's not going to be 12 an ounce. You know, I didn't plan this rover. I normally plan my own rows, but he's an experienced rover, so you know, if we don't hit 50, I'm gonna have to blame him. But you know, I'm still gonna have the record regardless.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
I just seen this over in our Discord. Apparently, you're causing ham alert issues for some folks there, James.
Yeah,
it's happened a time or two.
There's a lot of people that put me in ham alerts and remove me really quickly. You know, okay, so if you have KE8PZN, you know how it is when he does FT8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's like that with me in parks. You know, so
very true.
Carlos shared that with us.
I have James at a separate alert that I can pause when I want to.
That's a good idea.
The problem is,
bad idea.
He shows up in our Discord when he's spotted, and I can't mute that because it mutes the whole channel. Yeah, I got to talk to Kyle on that one, I think.
I'm looking at your Discord and I'm seeing all these. You have some new folks that are joining your Discord, so there's some folks that want to hunt you out there.
Good. Well, I mean, there's 50 parks up for grab between Friday at 8:00 and Saturday at 7:59. So, not to mention the parks that you're going to get in between now and then. Like I said, I did hit my 100 parks up here, which is my goal. So, I can chill out, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be closer to 900 before I leave here than I am at 800. So, which is good, because if that happens, we know what my goal will be next year, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
1,000.
Absolutely.
Yep, it'll be 1,000 unique parks for sure. So, I've been known to make them goals.
You're sitting at 810 unique right now. So,
yeah, I was a week and a half ago when I streamed with you on Frank's. I think I was at 743.
Yep, it was in the sevens. So, do you remember that?
Yeah, it was in the 740s. I think it was 743. So, I'm happy with what I've done so far. We did this past week. We did a 27, 20, and a 21 in 3 days straight.
Oof.
So lots of driving we did. I can tell you that. But we had a good crew. You know, we had one guy driving. One guy was vlogging, the other guy was making sure the antennas were working stuff. I was running social media, getting people ready, and we'd pull in and we'd just hammer them out real quick. So
Yep.
it worked.
So the
it
best
worked
way
well.
to find
And
you is to be in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
the best way to find me is to be in Discord.
Okay.
Or if you want to really have access to me, you can go over to Patreon and join Patreon, and then unfortunately my life becomes yours because them guys spend more time with me than anything.
Them's the one paying the bills. I get it.
we do a lot of extra stuff in that Discord. What to say?
Absolutely.
Oh goodness.
Well, James, we're coming up on the bottom of the hour. We've spent an hour with you, and it's been fantastic having you around. As far as advice for new people who are wanting to get into POTA, is there? Because you have people who have mic fright. You have people who maybe you're like they don't want to do an activation. Should they go? Is there rules they need to know before they go out and do an activation? What's like the top 3 bullet points you would give to a new person to POTA? Not necessarily a new ham, but a new person to POTA that they should kind of like. All right, let's start here.
Number 1, don't listen to my pile up and never get on the radio again.
So true.
Now, for real, you got to do POTA the way you want to do POTA. POTA's about fun. That's what it's all about. For me, competition is fun, and I'm competitive with myself and everybody else. But if you want to go out one time a month and do 10 contacts and then go for a walk in the park, and that's what you enjoy, do that. If you want to run, be an activator and you want to run pileups, but you want to do it slow and methodical, you want to take your time and, ask everybody how their day is and stuff, do that. POTA's about what you want POTA to be. There's so many ways to do POTA and none of them are wrong. So,
the only wrong way to do POTA is to not do POTA.
Absolutely, but don't criticize somebody else for how they're doing it.
Into the park,
let them do it their way. And don't be a hunter that wants to fuss at an activator, because listen to this. The activator is the one that's going out there in the 14 inches of snow while you're sitting in your heated house, drinking your coffee and waiting for him. So remember, if he wants to run the pile up like me, don't tell me to slow down. If he wants to run it, and talk to each person, don't tell him to speed up. It's just that simple.
Yeah. And if he wants to run it by the numbers, let him run it by the numbers.
It's funny that you picked going out in 14 inches of snow instead of telling the doctor, no, I'm not staying.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not staying in the hospital, doc. I'm out.
Do not ever do that. It's dangerous. Okay? It's dangerous. But POTA's good for my health, y'all. It keeps my blood pressure down. As I can have my blood pressure can be through the roof, and if I go POTA, I'm good. I'm calm. Good. Unless I get a vid to mess with me, then I get a little fired up. But it happens.
All right.
So other than the 50 row that's coming up, what do you got planned for your YouTube channel? Because I know you always had you guys have a live stream, a weekly live stream.
Oh yeah,
I'm said with a question mark.
So since I became a full-time YouTuber, I'm a lot more active on YouTube. I have no life no more. I gave it up for YouTube. So we do a live stream on Sunday night, which is kind of a lot like your all's live stream. It's more of a, we don't really have a topic, and we might be talking about eating cookies, or we might be talking about doing POTA, or we might be, talking about having a flat tire. You never know. It's just a laid back stream about like this one. It's called the Ham Radio Shenanigan Hour. Then on Wednesdays we do Hump Day Happy Hour. That one normally has a topic, and it's normally ham radio related. And then of course I drop a video on Thursday. And other days I'll drop a shorter TikTok, but them's not really scheduled. I've been working really hard on YouTube. If you guys are not subscribed and you like anything to do with portable operations or something that might be adventurous in radio. Besides, when I first started, I said, "This ain't your grandpa's ham radio." I don't sit in the basement and do all that, and that's cool if you do, but I've got when I get back to the States, I've got a bike, a 3-day bike row, mountain bike, where I'm going to do 5 parks on a 78-mile trail.
Holy cow!
So
you really do have an addiction.
Cannot
James.
hang out with
Just
James. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You have a coronary.
I'll be
James,
the I'll be the
are you
chase
gonna go
car.
finish?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go finish Kentucky?
I am going to finish Kentucky next year if you have to quit dad in parks. No, Shane, you don't even know
the feeling. I know the feeling.
I was this close to finishing Kentucky, and they just dropped a ton. Listen, the Kentucky coordinator was nice to me. He sent me a message an hour before with a list. He said, "I just want you to know these are getting ready to drop tonight." I said, "Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?"
That I've got 2 worked all states already, activated all states. I need my 3rd one done. So yeah, I'm going to finish it next year.
Good deal.
What's your second one?
Delaware and West Virginia.
Delaware, I'm only showing 45 of 88 parks.
I had the award when it was the old Delaware.
Scoundrels.
They added more parks, dadgummit.
I was gonna say that was
worked all as worked all.
yeah.
James, Steve's in the back room of POTA going, y'all know what make James crazy?
Y'all watch this. Y'all watch this.
No.
Parks.
Because I was sitting there and I had South Carolina all mapped out and had the plans to get it done, and then they dropped another like 40 parks on me.
Yeah.
And threw my plans right out the window. And
I wish they'd add 40 parks to Texas. Then I would have to drive 2 hours.
I wish they would. I wish they would too. Because from what you guys tell me, it's hard to get around down there. So
it is.
I'll be there one day.
I did a video where Jason and I think we got 5 parks in a single day because of the distance we had to drive between parks. It was crazy. So one of these days they're going to add some more parks to the database in Texas. I do have
maybe.
I have 1 or 2 that I'm the original activator on.
Nice.
And one's in the Panhandle. One of them's in Oklahoma because I drove, I left at 4:00 in the morning and drove up to Oklahoma to get that one. Yeah. And to come to find out, it was close to car traffic. So I had to park outside the gate and carry all my stuff inside the gate, set it up,
Oh, bless
play
your
radio.
heart.
I know. It's terrible.
I was going to say, I did 4 ATNOs on my way to Huntsville the first year. Submitted the logs because that's back when we had to send them to coordinator. And I was a coordinator. So I showed up as first activator. And then some dude went and posted his logs for one of the parks, and he beat me by an hour.
What a jerk.
And he's now the South Carolina section manager. So I can't say too much too bad about him. Because I happen to be on his cabinet. And Matt's a good dude. So
If you did, it'd make the meetings more interesting.
Oh, I talk trash to him directly to his face.
Even better.
Fun. He's a good guy though. Much like James. So
well,
I tried
unless you guys let me back this up. Other than your 50 Pork Grove in Canada, what's next in the United States?
What's next in the United States? Pending it being really, really cold, because I never know what's going to be like in November in West Virginia. But I need to get that 3-day bike rove out of the way. I'm still trying to work out a little bit of the logistics of that, but the problem is I do that PZN challenge things where I challenge people just as much. I'm always giving away coins for something, and every year since I'm doing Bailey Sprott, the hardest thing you've ever done with no award, but since
Right.
I'm doing that, I always do the PZN challenge and challenge people to hunt me every day of the year. And I started that last year. I had 5 people finish. 4 of them absolutely refused to hunt me on January the 1st this year. But one of them has actually stuck with it. He's probably going to be a 2-time PZN guy, which would be my number 1 hunter. But I've got 5 right now, so I try to keep them going. And I like to do challenges like this Canadian Chaser Challenge. I did one when I did my West trip. If you got me, I forget what the West trip was. It got me once in every state that I was in. I did one, so I like to keep people involved, as I like them to be competitive like me. The more competitive people I bring into POTA, the better off I'm going to be, because I like to see people being active and stuff like that. And I'm really big about the youth and stuff like that and helping out with them. I got a lot of youth that I help, but I do a lot of meetups. Matter of fact, the Monday after this 50 Park Grove, I'm going down to Hamilton, still here in Canada, and meeting a lot of people that's hunted me over the years. And I'll be doing a meetup down there for a couple hours, and then of course doing parks all around there. But the States, I'll just be hammering it back out as always until February, and we all know that I go south like a snowbird.
South for the winter.
South for the winter. That 1 month hamcation trip.
So if you had, for anybody who watches this, if you had one setup, one radio antenna combo that you would suggest take to the park, what would it be?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a hard question.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you like to activate. If you're gonna be a person that just goes fairly close to the picnic table and under the shelter, I take my DX10 and I'll use my Eagle One, and I don't care what anybody says about the Eagle One. It's got over 200 and some thousand contacts on it, so results don't lie. But when I go I go hiking and stuff like that, I love my KX3 and a little spark plug-in fed, or a Kilo Oscar 4 Fox Sierra Zulu in fed, and just bang it out like that. Don't
ham
think
sticks?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because in Canada, these boys rove with ham sticks up here. So I've made quite a lot of contacts just on these roves up here with ham sticks.
Wearing out a set of ham sticks, are you?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you sounded good Saturday when I worked you park to park.
Well, let's see, Saturday would have been on a wire, because I would have been camping. We were camping on Saturday.
Yep. Yeah, we were on the Pactena infed, and you got Chris and myself. So, but.
Well, you guys want to start around the horn, kind of wrap this puppy up?
Absolutely.
Steve, I'll start with you, and we'll end with James.
Okay.
Since you're the star of the show tonight. So, Steve, you want to go ahead and what you got coming up?
Well, like I said, about a month I'll be in Hawaii. So if everything goes as planned, and I will make sure I'm on stream, but I will do a park at least once while I'm there.
That's a 6-hour time difference.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting off the ship early that day.
Okay. All right. Just letting you know.
Yeah, no, that'll be an early day, because that'll be first install day. But yeah, I'm going to actually build a link dipole. So I'll go from 10 all the way up through 20, all the way down to 20, using a link dipole, getting contacts. So technicians, QRO, 100 watts. Yep, I'm taking the 850 or the 891, and I'll start on 10 meters with technicians, and then I'll work my way through the bands. And I'll give it. I got nothing better to do while I'm sitting out there on the beach.
You need to ask the ship if you can borrow their radio.
And while he is,
we're not going to talk about how much power they have.
Well, I'm just saying, we ain't got to tell you how much power. But you say, hey, can I borrow this for like 10 minutes? 15?
I They may or may not be near 17 meters.
Close enough.
I know it'll tune up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if nothing else, you put a little
I just got to find the microphone.
rat tail out there.
The funny thing is while he is activating in Hawaii, there will be people on the POTA Facebook page complaining, saying nobody ever activates in Hawaii.
So true.
Oh, I'm going to post on the POTA
So
Facebook page.
true.
I may go live on the POTA Facebook page.
Nice.
Screw it.
Nice.
I'll live stream from
Live from Hawaii.
live from Hawaii. We'll
You had
do
a
a
look
POTA
Erica
activation.
player out there.
Oh, I'm definitely going to hit him up. So,
Joe Britt.
Yeah, it's me still. Recorded some more video. Have not edited, but it's there. If I don't forget that it's there, we might do something with it. And other than that, I'll be in a camper this weekend. So, sounds like I need to take. Sounds like I need to take me an antenna or two.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, this is K5YVY.
See.
He don't realize it right now, but my pants just dropped.
on that note, good night, boys.
I would say awkward way, but well, I will say I do miss some HF stuff, so I'm going to take Mike up on his offer to go do some a twofer in Texas. We'll find a couple days or a day where we can meet up at a park. I've got the park numbers, so I'll be there, Mike. But yeah, man, James, absolutely great to have you on. Thanks for being a supporter of our channel for so long. It's always fun to get you in the logbook. It's always fun to see that you pop up. If you're not familiar, we have a bot in our Discord that there's certain members of the Discord when they're out doing POTA, you'll get an alert into that channel that says, hey, they're out, what park they're in, the frequency they're on. So it's pretty much going to be the James show. He's going to be the most that's going to show up in that string as long as he's spotted on the page or somebody spots him. But thanks for everything that you've done with the hobby, with POTA. It's inspirational to most, because I know now you've got some of those that some people who like to have a competition, like, you know what, you can do 50, I can do 51 or 52. So appreciate those of you who go out there and do the activations. And I'm just a hunter right now. I haven't activated in quite some time, but I do miss it. I like going to the park. I like camping. It's the best place. You go out there, you have a zero noise floor, and something that you would probably never hear at home is going to be like a 5.1 on the meter. It's barely going to move the meter, but it will blow your eardrums out. It's absolutely fantastic what you can hear when you're out there in the park. James,
Shane, you need to pick up a G90.
I think so too, because then I could tune anything. That would be fun. But James, I'm going to let you send us out tonight. Just anything you want to pass on to folks. Your Victor Alpha 3 Papa Zulu November, the Canadian call sign, to make sure that's in your ham alert. You've got until, you said Halloween, right, to get you in the logbook?
Halloween. I mean, I'll be back. I'll every now and then I'll hit some border parks and stuff like that when I'm in states to do it. But you know, if you want to make sure and get it, I would get it while I'm up here now, because I'm out every single day, you know, doing multiple parks every day. It's not, you know, and unless we're roving, they're spotted on POTA. If we're roving, they're spotted in my Discord, and you don't have an excuse, because you should have went and joined my Discord. I told you to. So,
and the links are in links are in here, so you best go join.
Absolutely. But really, honestly, I'd love to thank you guys for having me on. This has been, your show's been great. You know, since the beginning of my YouTube days, this has been a great place to, hang out and watch and stuff. And anytime I'm not out activating, I'm still watching it, and I watch it. I watch the return, or I listen to it down the road so I don't hear contacts in my.
Something to distract you from hearing that pile up in your head all the time.
That's right.
Well, thanks for being.
Thanks
actually,
a lot.
hold on.
Y'all check out James and Dan on Sunday nights too.
Time out. I got to make a motion.
Is this the first time we've had James on?
I think so, and if it's not, it'll be a duplicate. But we need to make sure that we get a motion to get. Well, I know we don't have Victor Alpha 3 Papa Zulu November as a member to the YouTube Ham Radio Clubhouse,
All right.
and the Kilo Echo 5 Papa Zulu November might be in there, but who cares? So I'm going to make that motion, and we make sure we get both them call signs in the roll. So
Yep.
so we're gonna charge James with two dues. He gets to pay the U.S. and he gets to pay the Canadian.
Donata.
I wouldn't do the Kilo Echo 5 because that's not my call. It's Kilo
Kilo
Echo
Echo 8. Kilo Echo 8.
That's why Shane don't do the books.
That's right.
We'll send somebody the bill.
Now,
Yeah.
So funny story, Shane. I've actually been on here 4 or 5 times, but you've never made the motion before. So
Sometimes Shane has to warm up to you.
It happens. It happens. All right. From all the rest of us, Izzo, thank you so much for all you're doing for the Connecticut fires. Prayers and thoughts and all that good stuff for the people who are affected by that. I saw the pictures. That is terrible. Mm-hmm. And thanks for everyone for joining us tonight. Thanks for our channel supporters for subscribing and for being channel members. We got a giveaway coming up. I was going to save that to the very last minute because Beer Snack hit me up in Discord and said, Shane, you need to spend some money. And y'all know how I like to spend money. So we got a giveaway coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed for that. Anyways, awkward wave to everybody. 73G. We'll catch you next Tuesday.
Bye.
See ya.
Don is your video.
I don't know if it's going to work or not. We're going to try.